Hi everyone, once again my name is Jeannette Herrera and I am part of the psychology program at CSU Channel Islands, and today I'll be able to share with you my study, What are the psychological predictors of academic success in first generation students? And before I begin my presentation, I would like to acknowledge my partners Roby, Ordonez, and Perez who are not here with me today. In the recent years, there has been a significant increase in the amount of students pursuing higher education. This rise has allowed for first-generation students of color and low-income students to be represented. In the past decade, it has been reported that over 4.5 million first-generation students have enrolled in post-secondary institutions. Currently, in the CSU system, more than 1/3 of the students are first-generation students. At this point, you're probably wondering, well, what is a first-generation student? Let me tell you about us. First-generation students are students whose parents did not obtain a post-secondary degree. And unfortunately, because of that, these students have unique needs and are less prepared in comparison to students whose parents did obtain a degree or attend university. Parents of first-generation students, they typically do not have the cultural understanding, the familiarity, or experience that all students need to know about in order to be able to succeed in this environment. And aside from not being able to have their parents mentor them, other factors like being a low-income student, coming from, or being a minority, or in some cases having low academic achievement, may prevent them from pursuing their ultimate goal of obtaining a degree. And for that reason, it is essential for research to define the key predictors that lead them to their success. On May 21st, 2015, NBC News released an interview with a first-generation student from Brown University, and the following was reported. I struggled a lot academically. I wasn't as prepared as many of my peers. These were the words of Manuel Contreras. He shares his experience in this interview by saying that he felt like he did not belong at this university because he noticed that his peers were wealthier than him and their parents were college educated. He also shares that he felt like he did not belong at home. He says the following: my parents were like, you seem more educado, educated. To him, this meant that while, yes, his parents were very proud of him for going to college, but they were also afraid that he was changing, becoming different than them. Okay, so what he experiences are the same experiences that first-generation students are going through today or facing today. Okay? The paths and outcomes of first-generation students have brought ample interest in the way that we differ in comparison to non-first-generation students. In the recent years, researchers have tried to make advancements in trying to figure out what are the key predictors that lead them to success. Research has found that how they're viewed socially while living on campus affects how they would adapt to their college life. It has also been found that living on campus and having a higher level of self-esteem and an internal locus of control leads them to their success as well. And more recently, it has been reported that environmental support and college self-efficacy are strong predictors of academic success. Our study aims to expand on previous research by looking at self-esteem, adaptation to college, and achievement motives. So here are all of our predictors. We have self-esteem, and then, like I said, we look at adaptation to college, which is represented by academic, social, and personal emotional adjustment, as well as attachment. And then we have achievement motives, which is represented by work, mastery, and competitiveness. So I would like to point out something that makes our study very unique, and that is that, to our knowledge, this is the first study to determine the roles of achievement motives in the academic success of first-generation and non-first-generation students. And for our study, we hypothesized that self-esteem, adaptation to college, and achievement motives would be significant predictors for success in first-generation and non-first-generation students. So for our study, a total of 92 undergraduate students from CSU Channel Islands were used. Of the 92 participants, 52 identified as first-generation students and 40 identified as non-first-generation students. Of our sample, the majority also identified as female and Hispanic, and the average GPA for first-generation students was 3.28 and 3.21 for non-first-generation students. So our participants were also asked to take a demographic questionnaire, or aside from the demographic questionnaire, they were asked to take the following battery of tests, which took them about 20 minutes to complete. So the first test that they were asked to take was the Rosenberg self-esteem test. This test looks at their self-esteem. It consists of 10 items and is based on a 4-point Likert scale ranging from strongly agree to strongly disagree. And a sample item from this test is, on the whole, I am satisfied with my life. Another test they were asked to take was the Student Adaptation to College questionnaire. This scale looks at their academic, social, and personal emotional adjustment and their attachment to the college. A sample item from this is, I am meeting as many people and making as many friends as I would like at college. And this sample question or sample item represents their social adjustment. And then there's also being on my own, taking responsibility for myself has not been easy. And this here represents the personal and emotional adjustment. This questionnaire consists of 67 items and is based on a 9-point Likert scale, ranging from applies to me to does not apply to me at all. And then finally, they were asked to take the work and family orientation questionnaire, which looks at their work orientation, the mastery, and competitiveness motives. It consists of 19 items and is based on a 5-point Likert scale, ranging from strongly agree to strongly disagree with neutral included. And a sample item here is, it is important for me to do my work as well as I can, even if it is unpopular with my coworkers, and this represents their work orientation. Then there's, I prefer to work in situations that require a high level of skill. This here represents mastery. And finally, we have, I try harder when I'm in competition with other people, and this represents their competitiveness motives. So a series of multiple regression analyses were computed to predict academic success as a function of self-esteem, adaptation to college, and achievement motives. For first-generation students, academic success was regressed on all 8 predictors using a simultaneous procedure, and the regression was found to be significant, and here are our results. So here are the regression coefficients for first-generation students. Of all the predictors listed here, we found that personal emotional adjustment and work orientation were significant predictors that lead these students to their success. What the beta coefficient here is telling us is that as one score point increases in personal emotional adjustment, student GPA will also increase by 0.443, and the same idea applies to all significant predictors. For non-first generation students, academic success was also regressed on all 8 predictors using a simultaneous procedure, and the regression yielded a trend level significance. And here are our results. So here are the regression coefficients for non-first generation students. Of all the predictors listed here, only social adjustment and mastery were significant predictors. Okay? So for first-generation students, our findings showed that personal emotional adjustment and work orientation play an important role in their academic success. So these findings were consistent with past research by Inglis and others, as well as Garriott and others. And the fact that our results were consistent with past research is eye-opening because it's telling us that first-generation students continue to need support in these areas. And for non-first-generation students, our study reveals that social adjustment and mastery motives play an important role in their success as well. And these patterns of results were also consistent with past research by Askelmeyer and others. And well, for non-first-generation students, although they have that guide of a parent to tell them, here's what you should expect, or here what is to come, our results show that they still need support in this area. And that's good, because we want to be able to share their success as well. So why do we care? Why is this important? Well, the results of our study will be able to help expand our understanding of the role that psychological processes plays in the academic success of students. But not only that, it will allow for institutions to create resources and programs in order to be able to support these students. But most importantly, these students are the future, and we want to be able to support them. Okay? To close my presentation, I would like to show you all a quick video of the first-generation student whom we all know.
Hi, my name is Michelle Obama, and I'm first. Neither of my parents graduated from college, so when I got to campus as a freshman, I'll admit I was a little overwhelmed. I didn't know how to choose my classes or find the right classrooms. I didn't even know how to furnish my own dorm room. In fact, when I moved in, I realized that I hadn't even packed the right size sheets for my bed. Mine were way too short. So that first night I slept with my legs sticking out past the end of the sheets, rubbing up against one of those old plastic mattresses. And I ended up sleeping that way for my entire freshman year. But here's the thing. I may not have had the right sheets, but I learned pretty quickly that I had what it took to succeed in college. Sure, there were moments when I had doubts. At first, I even worried that maybe I just wasn't as smart as some of my classmates. But soon enough, I realized that that was all in my head. I was just as smart as everyone else, and I had just as much to contribute. I just had to have the confidence to believe in myself and the determination to work hard and ask for help when I needed it. So that's my message to all of you. No matter where you come from or how much money your family has, I want you to know that you can succeed in college and get your degree. and then go on to build an incredible life for yourself. That's been my life story and my husband's as well. And if you're willing to put in the time and the effort, I want you to know that it can be your story too. So I want to wish you the best of luck in the years ahead. I know you can do it.
And that concludes my presentation. Thank you, everyone. Questions?
Sure. Do you know what the average high school GPA of your participants was by any
No, that was actually not collected.
Okay, I was just curious and related. From your review of research, do you know what was done in high schools that helped prepare students?
In one of them, I believe they looked at their transition from high school to college by giving them a survey of about 200 questions. It was an online survey, and they looked at their self-efficacy, alcohol use, their involvement in clubs, and their background characteristics, but nothing really with the GPA.
Okay, I'm just curious because I was so a lot of potential first-generation college students.
Great, Susan.